Tsukasa Mikogami from Joyoyu. Joyoyu, or High School Prodigies Have It Easy, Even in Another World, is an isekai anime where an airplane accident happens to have 7 high school students in it. But when they wake up, they find themselves in the middle of a magical world. Beautiful, isn't it? On first look, we thought that these high school kids wouldn't survive an era with no modern tech, just a kingdom run by guilds and magic. But to our surprise, these kids are the high school prodigies and they don't even break a sweat. Well, with the story aside, let's talk about our main character, who is Tsukasa Mikogami. Tsukasa's the reason Choyoyu is on our list today. Due to his genius intellect, he's the Prime Minister of Japan at a relatively young age. Like, come on, do you think a high school student will be able to run the whole of Japan? Aside from that, he's also running the high school club called 7 Prodigies. So what makes Tsukasa an overpowered isekai main character? Well, he has the best deduction and planning skills out of all the 7 prodigies. The power to be always correct is something only an overpowered isekai character would possess. So in short, Tsukasa's intelligence is what made him worthy of being on our list today. Hajime Nagumo from Arifureta Shokugu de Sekai Seikyu. Another high school isekai anime on our list is Arifureta From Commonplace to the World's Strongest. The story of this anime revolves around our MC Hajime Nagumo. Having an interesting story, Hajime and his classmates are transported to another world one day, so what's in it for them? Talking about the background a little bit, Hajime's a 17-year-old young boy, your everyday otaku in a sense. His life is turned upside down when one day Hajime, along with his classmates, finds himself in a totally different world. In that fantasy world, they're treated like heroes and they have to perform different tasks in order to save humanity in that fantasy world. But that's not where the craziness starts. Unlike his classmates who are blessed with godly powers, Hajime is relatively weak. What has he done for nature to give him only one power, being a synergist? In short, Hajime makes weapons for everyone and is bullied by his teammates. But what's exciting about Arifureta is the fact that how quickly Hajime puts himself away from the bullying phase to be the best hero there ever was. At some point in the anime, he drinks liquefied mana to become stronger and create the most powerful weapons in the history of Arifureta. All in all, Arifureta makes you rethink about a character from scratch. Yuto Suo from Hyakuren no Haru to Syaku no Valkyria. Yuto Suo is another overpowered isekai anime character. The anime has a twisted story where Yuto takes a picture of him in front of a mirror and he's suddenly transported to another world. And that world is far different from modern technology. The world is full of war and there is no peace whatsoever. Yuto's invited to the Wolf clan who deeply care for him. In return for their generosity, Yuto gives his help in modernizing the clan with his high school knowledge to become more advanced. Even if Yuto is an ordinary high school student, he proves himself to be quite useful by copying the knowledge of various historical commanders he was taught about in high school. As genius as he is, Yuto does make a great commander, but what actually surprised us was the fact that Yuto can be quite dangerous sometimes. After winning the war against the Horn clan, he decided to burn the captain of that clan. Now that's pretty crazy, isn't it? Due to the overpowered character and ruthless attitude, Yuto makes a great addition to our list. Sato Pendragon Death March Kara Hajimaru Isekai Gyosokyokyu. Boy, oh boy, this one is going to be rather interesting. A 29-year-old game programmer finds himself in the middle of an RPG game that was going to be released just the next day. In-game, he becomes a 15-year-old boy named Sato Pendragon. At first, he thinks he's just dreaming. However, when he feels that he's sane, things start getting exciting. A 15-year-old in an RPG game. What do you expect? He wipes out a whole lizard army with the powerful attacks he possesses, and Sato becomes a high-level adventurer. The whole anime is filled with action-packed adventure where Sato literally obliterates the enemy by making them think he's an ordinary person. Sato hides his levels so that he can live peacefully, but like any other isekai anime, there's a demon king as well. Sato gears himself to fight the demon king and the results are rather interesting. Death March is another anime where the main character is pretty powerful, even though he tries to hide it all the time. Toya Mochizuki from Isekai wa Smartphone to Tomo ni. The story revolves around the main character Toya Mochizuki, who's died, so that's it. Story finished. Well, just kidding actually. Toya dies by the mistake of God himself. After he gets face to face with the anime god, he's reincarnated into another world of fantasy. As the anime name has smartphone in it, he gets to keep his phone too. Toya's adventure begins when he's revived into a fantasy world where he gets superhuman strength and powers as his body is made from the divine realm's material itself. Sounds pretty cool, right? His adventure is full of magical adventure where he defeats enemies like they're literally nothing. Toya has an overpowered state where he's able to control all types of magic and even nullify any magic that comes forth. Our main character is overpowered in every aspect of his life, even marrying 9 of the princesses. This guy is a lucky hotshot for sure. At some point in the anime, Toya becomes the king of the spirits and awakens his god powers as well. The story and power of the main character make this anime worthy of being on our list. Diablo from Isekai Maoto Shokan Shoujo no Dorai Majutsu. Have you ever dreamt of being the main character of your most favorite game? Well, Diablo in this case had, and he actually got transported into his favorite MMORPG game. Becoming the Demon Lord in his most playable game, Diablo has an interesting story. For a bit of background, our main character's name is Takuma and not Diablo. He's summoned into the game by 2 girls to make him a servant of them. However, the word is misspelled, and the results the exact opposite. Rem and Shira are the 2 girls who were summoned. The spell turns upside down and now those 2 are Takuma's servants. Takuma's known as the Demon Lord Diablo in the game, and using his overwhelming powers, he always beats all of the enemies that come in his way. On the other hand, he's always holding back his destructive powers as there's no need to get worked up to kill a bunch of weaklings. Talking about Diablo's strengths, he has a ton of working skills such as the Ebony Abyss, Distorted Crown, Call of Darkness, and the list just goes on. What we can guarantee is the fact that Diablo is the most overpowered character in this series. That's it for our top 10 today. Until next time, peace out.